Alright, so welcome to a brand new video blog. It's Thursday, and I've been home now for, oh gosh, I don't know, about an hour and a half or so. Today was a big day. We found out what the Supreme's ruling was going to be, their decision in regards to Obamacare, and it wasn't good. And now all the speculation begins, and I've been listening to various talk show hosts on the way home. I was just watching some of the pundits talk on TV about all of this, and let me start off by saying this first. This is one of those days. It's not easy to be a talk show host in the sense of, I love what I do, right? All things being relative, it's easy being a talk show host. I can get through it. Considering what I do, today is one of those days where it's not easy to be a talk show host. I try to approach it from a standpoint of just being as, like I always am, as honest as I can with the emotions that I'm feeling at the time, given that things don't go your way and you feel like you've just been kicked in the nuts. Until James T. Harris, when he came on to do a show today, I should have worn my cup. But ultimately, you work through it, much like you do a relationship. I had this cassette tape that I held on to for years, and it's the sadistic person in me. Of course, I wouldn't even know what I would play it on now. I don't think I have a tape recorder in the house. But I had a full-size cassette answering machine, right? Years ago when I was single, and I was dating this girl. We broke up, and I'd gone away for the weekend. I think I would end up going to Vegas or something that weekend with a buddy of mine. And she started calling my answering machine progressively over the course of, 24 or 48 hours. And it was comical because no one else called me during that time, shockingly. And the progression was the quintessential example of what happens when you go through a breakup. Sort of the anger, the cursing, the emotional down from that, sorry for doing that, then the, hey, can I get my stuff back, moving to the inevitable fate of which you're now in, can't we just be friends? And I mean, you can use an example on numerous levels of when this happens. And the same thing happens when, basically anything emotionally, right? Anything emotionally, you go through the phases of having to deal with that. And the same thing happened this morning. Now, the healthcare legislation, the law, the Affordable Care Act, ObamaCare, it's deeply personal to me, as it is for a lot of people. But I'm not in the minds of a lot of people. I can share this one. It's deeply personal to me because of what I've, been through. And what it means for not just the future of my health. And as I stated on the radio today, doctors have all said that I should be fine with the work that was done and it should last me the rest of my life and I shouldn't have to go through this again. I had open heart surgery in 2009. Didn't think I had to go through it again. Had it again 11 weeks ago. Yeah. So, needless to say, I'm cautiously optimistic. But what I don't want is to have to go through it again under an Obamacare or what is coming down the road, and that is a single-payer system or a universal healthcare system. And those are two different things, but either one could be brought about because of what Obamacare is really, really designed to do. And listening to everybody go and dissect this, and why did it happen, and why did everybody say the individual mandate was unconstitutional, and they switched their minds, and why did Scalia, in his dissent, mention Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her opinion? Did Roberts rewrite it? Was pressure put on Roberts to go and join the left on this? It doesn't matter. One thing matters, and that's getting Mitt Romney elected. That's it. Now, as a believer that all things work together for good, as a believer that everything happens for a reason, this happened for a reason as well. I mean, for me, ultimately, I answer to a higher calling. And seeing that I believe all things work together for good, you have to look at this and go, okay, there is a plan in place, and we have to go see it through. It doesn't mean that we don't get involved. It doesn't mean that we're not a part of that plan and that we sit back and, pop on the soda with the Diet Mountain Dew and just wait for the next race to start. Speaking of which, I'm so glad that the NASCAR race, the Sprint Cup race, is Saturday night. I desperately need the distraction. No. Romney needs to get elected. There is one more round in the gun. That is the last of the ammunition. It's the last shot available. It's like Jack Sparrow in the second, which I like and most people don't, the second and third. Or was it the first one? Oh, it was the first one. Almost got my movie references wrong. The first one in Curse of the Black Pearl. He had one. He was given the gun when he went to the island to put a bullet in his head if he wanted to, but he saved it because he put the hair, he made a rope on the sea turtles and got away, right? Or however he did it. And he was saving that one bullet for Captain Barbossa. Well, I got to walk a fine line here because somebody will grab this. Hey, John's got one bullet used in the election. No, idiots. It's an example. But much like that gun, we've got one bullet left. And it's in the chamber. And that is making sure Mitt Romney gets elected. Maybe this is exactly what he needed. In a world that I believe where all things work together for good, even the bad things. In a world where I believe that everything does happen for a reason, maybe this did all along. Maybe this was the thing that was going to inspire you to go, donate, get involved, make phone calls, knock on doors, and to not only put Romney in the White House, but to also ensure that we elect members of the House, we take back the Senate. I went through that initially when we were fighting over Obamacare before it was passed. And I remember seeing the crowds and the signs and the enthusiasm. And I'm not one for style over substance. But the town halls, it all made a difference. And everybody's just been kind of, not defeated, but that spark hasn't been there. Maybe that spark is there now. I never in my life did I imagine that I would live in a country under the rule of a president as dangerous and as reckless as Barack Obama is. And I fear for the future of my children if he gets another 4 more years. I fear for the future of the health and the strength of this nation if Romney is not elected and Obamacare is not repealed. It's been an up and down day. I went through the range of emotions and all of it. And right now I'm at that, okay, time to get to work. There's a reason why, and I stated this a long time ago. When I started working out with Danny over at Evolution Fitness, I said it was because I needed to do it for my health, I needed to do it for my family, and I needed to do it for this year to make sure that I was ready for the battle ahead. And the traveling as well. That hasn't changed. So with that, I need to go take a nap. Donate. Get involved. Join the local, become a precinct committeeman locally. Get involved in the local Republican Party. Doesn't have to be a bad day if we don't let it be a bad day. So, all right, there's a new vlog. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go take a nap. How's that? All right.